Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here. I'm going to be doing a random collective reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, astrology, or tarot, you can find my website below. I do them over Zoom or in person if you are in Boerne, Texas, or in the surrounding area, but likely Zoom would be what you're looking for. All of my readings are timeless. Take what resonates and leave what does not. Don't force it to fit. Don't force me to fit. You don't have to watch my channel, although you're free to hate watch. That's fine too. So I like to come into these readings with a message, and I do have one today. Smelled like stuffing. I hate stuffing. It's really weird. Maybe that means something because it reminds me of Thanksgiving and being with family and loved ones. Dude, it literally smells like stuffing. And okay. Anyway, in meditation today, I got a hermit crab. So I had seen this special. This was like a while ago, or it was a YouTube video about a guy who collected shells and brought them to like he was seeing a lot of hermit crabs on the beach using things. I'm smiling, but because it was a sweet thing for him to do, but using trash and garbage and stuff like that as their shells, and saying how people go to the beach and collect shells, and then hermit crabs like are using trash for their, shells. So but this was a while ago. In my vision, what I was seeing was a hermit crab with a bottle cap, like that it was using as a shell, and underwater or whatever. It's my vision. It can do what it wants. I don't even know if hermit crabs really like live under the water or whatever, but this one did. And it was trying to get to, it was uncomfortable in the shell because it didn't really close and it was having a hard time holding it on. And so it's walking and it gets a glimpse of like a really, really nice shell off into the distance. But as it was trying to go through like a little hole that it needed to get through, the bottle cap that it had on wouldn't fit. So that would mean that the hermit crab would have to be vulnerable and leave the bottle cap to go through the opening in order to get to this shell. Plus there was like reefs and things blowing, kind of the sea, moving things in front of the other shell. So there was the uncertainty of, if I make a run for it, is it still going to be there? Anyway, is it real, was even kind of a question too. And it did make the attempt a few times in my vision. And it never concluded with the hermit crab going towards the shell and getting there. So all of that to say, with this vision, and we'll see what we get for the reading, but there's something about having to move and be vulnerable. And it's okay to go back. And we might be doing that, like, yeah, I'm going for it. And then drawing back a little bit and saying, oh, I need to retreat to safety. Because there are predators of hermit crabs, so it is something might feel a little bit scary. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And the other funny thing that happened that I wanted to mention, so I did a reading yesterday, and as I was doing the reading, the whole time I'm like, this reading fucking sucks. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm not gonna share it or publish it or whatever. And then after, and I finally just finished it. I even said in the reading, I'm gonna suffer through this. And afterwards I watched it and I'm like, well, it makes sense. It's cohesive. I mean, it's not, whatever. I didn't think, oh, wow, what an amazing reading, but it was not as bad as I was hearing the talk in my head go. And usually it's just not that loud for me, like when, anymore, especially when I'm doing readings, because I just get into a zone or whatever. So there was and then someone called me yesterday and said, hey, I had this really weird thing happen, and then it happened again. And then what I told myself was that it happened because God wanted me to slow down. And it was just like the really perfect message for that person in that moment. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat. Long story short, what I took from that is that the reading being fine, even though the whole time I felt like as I was putting it together, it sucked. It's like, even though things on a grander scale might kind of feel like we're not doing it right, or it's not, there is a bigger picture, and likely it is going to be okay. This made me think of Jupiter being in Gemini right now, and Jupiter does not operate very well in Gemini. However, that's where it is and where it's going to be for about the next year. But Gemini is kind of like the details and the, facts and figures. And Jupiter is like, this is my big idea. Like this is where I want to go. And so it can feel overwhelming. Like we could be starting too many projects or just starting a lot of things. And that's kind of what we have to do, or feel like we're juggling a lot. And maybe we don't feel like we're doing any of it right, but giving ourselves some grace. Combining that with the hermit crab deal, the vision that I got, it's like we might have to leave things behind that don't fit anymore. Or we might have to get through some like small holes, and not everything can go with us in when we're headed in the direction of where it is that we want to be. And that there's that feeling of vulnerability in addition to this, but it's all going to work out in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things. Okay. So pick a card for us internally. Yeah, that's funny. 10 of Pentacles. And this is our internal energy. And this is the 10 of Pentacles is basically in the grand scheme of things. This is looking at the bigger picture, making long-term goals. This is an old man watching his children, there we go, and grandchildren play it and celebrate in the abundance that he has accumulated over a long life. And you might imagine that life had involved a lot of struggles and difficult situations, but he got through it. So for the 10 of Pentacles to be coming out on the internal card, this is keeping in mind, what is it that you ultimately want? Like, especially with Jupiter and Gemini, I feel like we're going to have to be very careful that we're not too hard on ourselves about doing a lot of things that feel small, that may not come together, but we do need to keep that longer term picture in mind, like where we are headed, the bigger picture. Like we don't want to get lost in the details. We don't want to forget about them either. And we don't want to overcommit. So, if there are a lot of things and there are some things that you have to pull back from, or that you don't want to commit to, then it's really important. That feels like the hermit crab to me. Ah, ah, external. So internal 10 of Pentacles, on the external, what's in front of us. So what are we surrounded by? What are we walking through? The 5 of Pentacles, this is lack, you know. It's like, this is my abundance mindset. What the fuck? There's just a bunch of bullshit around here. That's funny. Yeah. All right, what does God see? The Hermit. We're finding our way through the dark. The Hermit is going within. Time and solitude, yes. However, the Hermit is a teacher, and the Hermit lights his own way. This is what God sees, or the higher perspective, looking down on what it is that we're doing. And the Hermit has gone within and found his own light. And this represents us, and we're learning to light our own way. And that's going to be difficult and vulnerable and sometimes confusing. But it's because people are watching, the Knight of Cups. This is offering our unconditional love to the world. It's putting where the Knight of Cups wears his heart on his sleeve. He goes out, and it's a gallant card. It can be a flirty card if the cups is about relationships, but this is someone who dares to love. And where is it that we want to offer our love in this world? And then the Page of Wands. Wands are action, and the pages are childlike energy. So this is what feels playful. Where can we have fun? But also, whenever we pull a page card, we're all adults here, or we should be anyway. It can be like imposter syndrome. Am I doing the right thing? Should I take this action? Should I, but what the wands are also inspiration, divine inspiration. So ask for divine inspiration. Like, I wrote in my journal this morning, all right, give me a sign of like, what is the next direction I go? Where should I go? And I'll get something will come up. I just know it, we don't want to overextend ourselves. We want to keep this in mind, but we don't want to get dragged down by what we're seeing here. If we're getting overwhelmed or negative, remember, find your inner light. And this is because you are on the path leading the way for others, but leading the way for others to find their own inner light also. And make sure that play, inspiration are an important part of where you're going. Be a little bit naive. And then the Knight of Cups is go out, and what is it that makes you feel the best? The cups are our emotions. Like, what feels right? What is your gut telling you? Let's do. Let's do one of these. So for the 5 of Cups, we're kind of, these guys are trudging through the snow. It sucks. They're not feeling good. But with this card, I like to tell people, they're on crutches, they're having a hard time, and they're trudging through the snow. It's snowing out. Behind them is a church, and they don't even see it because they're so huddled over in what they feel is a terrible situation. But if they would look up and recognize that there's a church behind them where they could find warmth and sustenance and spirit, maybe a little bit of like spiritual, like a a pep talk from God could be in the building, you know? So we are with our big ideas. Yeah. Sad embrace. It's okay to be sad also. You know, when I did my meditation this morning, I, in front of my altar, I kind of laid down and put my head, like I had my knees bunched up and I put my head down like that. I started out the regular meditating way. And that just felt more right. Like I personally am feeling very surrendered, you know? So we're just surrendering further. And that's that hermit crab. Intention. Be sure to continue putting intentions out there. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be scared. But remember that we are planting seeds for the future. There's an owl here. Be wise about what it is that you're intending. And it also, what have your intentions been? You know, the owl has a dandelion in its beak. So it's like make a wish. And there are a bunch of dandelions in the field. So maybe the egg has simply not hatched yet. Like, have you put intentions out there? If you haven't, then maybe you need to. The new moon in Gemini, if you're watching this in real time, is the 6th. So like new moons are for setting intentions, you know, set intentions of ideas of where you want to go, what you want to learn about, who you want to communicate with, who you want to interact with. Let's see. What are our strengths right now? What is helping us through? We got dolphin, happiness. Are you remembering to be happy? Are you writing a gratitude list? You know, that's something simple you can do, even if the things that you're happy for or grateful for, it might, you know, it might be small at the moment. That's okay. I had to write some gratitude lists when I was in very, very difficult places like rehab. And it's possible whenever we're grateful, it brings us more good things. So like just suck it up and be happy. There's that too. Just suck it up. I mean, happiness is a choice to an extent. Rhinoceros, moderation, all things in moderation, even moderation. So it's okay to go a little bit from one extreme to the other. I wanted to pull 3 of these, but so we have dolphin and rhinoceros. And it's fire and water. And then we have beaver. Work, just keep work. There's some earth. Where was I going with this? Happiness. So if we're feeling defeated, if we're feeling scared, if we're feeling intimidated or confused or super negative, remember that it's okay to feel that way. Sometimes it's okay to take a couple steps back, but in moderation, you know. And work, this is a time of efforting. of putting in effort and perhaps not really knowing what the rewards of your effort are going to be, or if they're going to come to fruition. There it is. There it is. Okay. Divine directions. What should we focus on right now? Let's see. What should we focus on right now? Time. The universe is helping you. Look for synchronistic events around you. I will be doing that because I asked for a sign. I don't know if that'll show up. We're going to get another one. What should we focus on? Synchronicities, signs, time, the passing of time. Look, this is the long term. Look at the bigger picture. No, it's not always going to be like this. And then we got wait. Take time to think about the matter at hand. Don't be tempted to rush. You can't rush a good thing. Focus. You're in need of a clear direction. Decide what you want in life. Shut up. So we've got, I said, what do we want to focus on? Focus on time and wait. Take time to think about the matter at hand. You're in need of clear direction. The universe is helping you. Look for synchronistic events around you. And it's like, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is us. This is our focus. What do we really want? What's the bigger picture that we want? And it might be scattered, all of the elements that are going to be put into place for that to happen. And we might feel like we're at the 5 of Pentacles, but we're halfway there. The 5 of Pentacles is in front of us. The 10 of Pentacles is what we want to embody. It's the internal energy, the thing that we're thinking about. So anyway, we're going to have to work. Everything in moderation. Even it's funny, we got the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. What was the dolphin again? Happiness. Look at, she's pregnant. It's like we're birthing something. We are birthing something. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day on Earth. Peace. Namaste.